And we are live. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Today, we are going to look at a sector that is hated to the teeth, and I can understand why. It's the silver miners. In this case, I'm looking at some of the, Gold Ventures on Twitter. He has a silver portfolio. I'm going to look through some of the more bullish setups for the ones he has in there, and see if we can find any good entries um, in the small cap juniors in the silver miners. So, as always, do your own due diligence, and this is not any financial advice at all. Um, yeah, follow me on Twitter, YouTube, give me a comment, whatever, you know the deal. Let's have a look at the charts, which is what we love to do, right? So, I have picked out actually 23. Oh my God, that were a lot more than I thought. But anyways, we will look at it. So these are some of the silver miners that Gold Ventures has on Twitter in his list. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. This is Silver One Resources. The S. Let's take the first one. My bad. This is MCY, the Minova. Very, very, very small. Only 3 million. So keep that in mind. But still, you can clearly see that we are having a decent entry here if you wanna put a small amount of capital into the very small miners here. We are again at the lows of the wedge. I mean, this is a good risk reward entry if you ask me. We had a bit of a bear flag breaking down here, obviously. Um, but yeah, it's if we get a touch again on the golden support, it's worth a try, I guess, if that's what you're into. Still, remember, a 3 million market cap is very high risk. So again, yeah. Silver One Resources, what I see is a big, you know the word, inverted head and shoulders. In my view, that's what it's trying to play out here. I just noted a whoopsie doopsie, a long-term support and resistance line here. So this is, in my view, the inverted head and shoulders you can see here. And if we get a break at around 2.4, then that's a great entry in my view for this very small. It's a what's that? A 2 year long inverted head and shoulders, so it has some merit to it. Iloro, very bullish chart, if you ask me. Very, very bullish. So we bottomed out here, the cup, then the handle broke out, and now we are in a massive bull flag. Whoops, what the? A massive bull flag, as you can see here. And the measured move, if you were to use the log scale, which is the 100% move from here to here, is actually close to the high, so actually a bit above at around 80. We are at 4 right now, roughly. So it's a 20 bagger here if this plays out to the upside. Great risk reward again. Perfect bull flag. Perfect. Looks amazing. The tier one still has a lot of work to do, but in my view, I just wanted to point it out here that we have the lower rally here. Um, and if we can take out this high, if you can see it right there, then you could look for an entry on the pullback. But still, it's still in a downtrend. It has nothing bullish right now, but we could have when we get above 0.36. Then we can look for some sort of entry if it pops up. Black Rock Silver, still again. Um, Again, we had the big move up here in 2020, one big bear flag, and now we are in a bullish pennant here at the long-term green support. I find that constructive. So if you can get a move to the upside here, an entry can be made, and obviously you can have the stop loss at around, let's call it 0.26 below the the wedge here. So that's not the worst risk reward you're getting if you want to play it out right. It's actually pretty good. So that setup is can also be used. Also, we have a gap up here. I just noticed right there. that just begs to be filled, right? This one here, the breakdown gap here, or the breakdown or the start of the breakdown from the first big bear flag. So at around 1, let's say. It's okay. It's looking fine. Just keep in mind, this is the weekly we're looking at, the weekly. So it's very long term. But yeah, this is quite similar to the other one. I think we are looking at a very big possible long-term inverted head and shoulders. You can see the left shoulder head, the right shoulder possibly being made here. And if we get a break above the trend line or the neckline here at around what's 0.63, then you can see the potential that we have. It's gorgeous right now here. So if we can take out 0.67, 0.63, depending on how you measure, that's it's a long-term bottom that is getting confirmed. You can see the downtrend, the basing, and then we have the uptrend in my view. And that's a GSVR. I can't pronounce that one. The Aya Gold, looking quite similar again. You can see it right away. We had this bull flag here. Obviously, the big crash in 2020 was a fake down to the upside. We can actually see the technicals, right? Fake down, retest of the lower, and then boom, resumption. That's quite nice. Also, now we are in, again, a big inverted head and shoulders in my view, if we can confirm the right shoulder high at 11.5. 11.5, then you have a great risk reward entry here. Again, if you want to play the the stop losses, you can put it below the neckline if you want to. If you want to leave more room, you can put it below the right shoulder, but still you're leaving a 40% possible drop here. But the upside is just tremendous. Again, you went from, let's call it 1 to 12. So this move will also be something in that range from 12 to like, yeah, a lot higher. I will say that. Great risk reward. Metallic MMG. It's a different setup, but we have a breakout of the wedge here, the bullish wedge coming down. We have a breakout, and right now we're doing a retest. As you know, that's one of the setups that I look for the most, the breakout, the retest. This one, together with the inverted head and shoulders, is one of my the ones that I'm looking for. They're quite simple to spot right away, and they're quite easy to have an entry, but also to have a stop loss. So that's how I see it. So we have a great entry here. And if, again, the stop losses can be made below the lows here, or if we get back into the bullish wedge. So still, this one looks quite good, to be honest. And if you want to play it a bit more safe, obviously we have the 0.4 level here. If we're getting above that, then that means that we are making for high highs here. The Silver Cup Metals SVM, very long term, very, very long term. 10-year, Jesus, that's a long time. But I have this parallel channel here, and as you can see, we have a breakout and a big pullback. So if you can find a decent entry here, depending on where you want to look, could be now, could be at the lower side here, then we have we have a higher high, then a higher low, right? And an entry here is not the worst. And again, you have the stop loss below this one. So this is just begging to go higher in my view. And again, you can also argue inverted head and shoulders here. I think that's actually quite good. I just noticed this one, so I will save that one. I like the setup, to be honest. Looking for an entry at the right shoulder. Great, absolutely great. Oops, Silver Viper Minerals still in a downtrend channel. We're just waiting for the break here. This is the last week's price action from Friday. It had a 10% day, and we're just waiting for a break here. You could argue that this one is not placed correctly, so let's select that. So wait for the break of the golden trend line, and yeah, then we are turning bullish again. MAC Silver, it's a weird beast, to be honest. It's a bit more shaky, a bit more all over the place, but still, I found these trend lines here, the long term going back to 2016, all the way down here, and we're just right there once again. And this is last week's price action. We had a We had a green week at the exact tick to this downtrend here. So great entry right here in my view. Again, stop loss you can place below the 2022 July low here if you want to have a stop loss. Again, it's not financial advice, but that's just how I see it. And if you can find a good trade here, that just makes me happy. So yeah, great risk reward again. If we break to the upside here, you have only a $1 loss per share, and you have the upside. So that's how you want to play it in my view. Ah yes, why is it doing that? I had similar issues yesterday, but okay, it's fine, whatever. This is the 2020, you know, the resumption here. So you could argue, let's look at the downside also. A small head, big head, and right shoulder. Also, if you look at it as a different take, you have maybe a cup and then a handle. So this level right here, the 1.4 is very, very important for go gold. Very, very important. You can see all the air below, right? There has been almost no volume down here. You have to get it all the way down to the 0.8s. But still, that's the bearish take. So getting below the 1.4, that's not the place you want to be. But the bullish view is we are in a squeeze right now and bouncing off this 1.4. So getting a break here could be the entry. Obviously, the stop loss you will set below this. Let's make it to the tick here. There it is, 0.38. Below that somewhere, depending on how much room you wanna make. But if you can get a break here, you can have a good entry, and again, a great risk reward. So that's my take on gold right now. This is abracadabra. Um, I've posted this like 1 year ago, where we were like around here. I think this is one big cup and then a handle, a very long candle. Yes, I know, but still, it's still a handle. Often you want to have a handle that doesn't go down more than I think it's 1/3, but also the length of it shouldn't be more than 1/3 or 1/2 of the cup. I can't remember exactly, but it's pretty long. I will give you that. Um, but still, this is a bullish chart. Nonetheless, when we break above, I think actually when we get above the golden, we don't have to break the upper. I think the golden one at around 0.42, then we have broken this bad boy right here. Looking really good. I'm also heavily invested into APA. I think it's one of the better plays. Again, that's my take. And if you're also lucky that you can get it right here, the third low at around 0.18, that's an amazing entry in my view. Okay, what is this? CMB. CMB. Bit of a longer chart as well. Bear flag, a bullish channel, right? Or squeeze, whatever you want to call it. And now we have a break to the upside. And just we keep pounding on the 0.24 level here. So in my view, if we get above the 0.25, 26, whatever in that range right here, then the basing is over and we are going in stage 2 to the upside here. So look for this level here at 0.25. What do we have here? Oh, the Santa Cruz silver mining. Strange chart, to be honest. I couldn't find much, but I think we have merit to this golden trend line coming all the way down here, all the way across. You can see it's perfectly fine right there. And I think again, if we break above the 0.6, excuse me, again, then we have all the upside and this very long. You could argue again, inverted head and shoulders here. Actually, it is an inverted head and shoulders. Is over. And if you want to be a bit more frisky with the entry, again, you could argue that buying the golden trend line here, and you can have a stop, below the 0.22 or 0.26, depending on how risky or frisky you are. But still, this looks good, very good above 0.6. It really does. What is this? This looks. I added it in here because I haven't made any lines, but you can see that we have a range. This is a range bound trade. obviously, and then we have some spikes here, but still we are at the absolute, go away. We are at the absolute lows here ever seen. Again, if you want to pray the oscillation here, then we should go to a reverse to mean, right? We have the mean here, so but it's a bit tricky here. But still, it's a great risk reward. You will not get it cheaper, I think. And if you do, I mean, it's still the upside is all in your favor. It's a small one. How big is it? Let's see. It's only, yeah, 0 million, 3 million. So that's nothing. Nothing at all. It's a very, very small one. This is GR Silver, GRSL. We have the supply zone here at around between 0.12 and 0.1. We have the supply. You can see all the way down. And now we're just getting a bit below here, but we are in a very big squeeze here actually, with a fake down here in my view, and then we go like this. This is a very typical fake down in a false breakdown, the way I see it. So we get here back in the wedge, and then we pop back up here. That's my take. So, but if we break out again here at the golden one at 0.1 maybe, then you have a. It looks very bullish for this again. Still, it's a very small one. This is only 20 million. So Defiance, it's just all over the place, just zigzag, 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 right? But I think this is the best try it has had for a very long time for a bottom at a and the level this low here at 0.21. And I think if we get above that, then we have this inverted head and shoulders, the big bottom confirmed, and there we can look for pullbacks or entries. But for now, I'll just stay away. We're still below the 30 weekly, and yeah, that's a lot of bad things going on in the chart. So that's my take. Look for the 0.22 rough-ish in that range. Okay, Reina Silver beaten with a shovel for like 3 years. It's one big downtrend, but there are opportunities in a downtrend, and I think I found a very good risk reward entry here. You can see the line here coming down, right? This is the upper. Then we have the parallel connecting to this one, and then boom, exactly to the parallel channel here. So this right here, in my view, could be a long-term low. Actually, we have the first impulse, second impulse low, and now the third impulse low. Right? You have the first, second, third. I think it is bottom fishing, I know, but it's still risk reward very good. For tuna, this is the bigger one, right? Yeah, 1 billion, so it's a bigger one. Um, Again, big inverted head and shoulders in my view, getting above 4.23, 4.5, whatever in that range. We have the confirmation of the right shoulder, which I think is being carved out right now. So I think it's August, September. If we are lucky, we get the breakout of the golden and the red. And as you can see right here, getting above that the 4.2. We have the entry. You can buy the break. You can buy the pullbacks, whatever. At that point, it's a bullish view long term. Fortuna, big Hercules Silver Corp. Nothing, nothing much is happening really. Long term, it's a 3-year chart. We are in a bullish pennant here, breaking out. It looks good. You can, in my view, if this holds, you can buy any pullback maybe. But this is in any day a bullish view on a chart. If you're lucky, if this is a false breakout to the upside, then you could add at this level here 0.1115 for a big retest of this level. How big is this one? 30. Okay, it's still small. It's still very small. And why did I have this one? Yeah, it's a very, very small one, right? Yeah, 3 million. So tiny, tiny one. SVG, Silver Grail Resources. That was tricky. Again, I found this long-term trend channel. You can say, you can see, you can have the touch of the lower all the way down here, right? And we have the middle one, the lower again. So it's very valid, this one here. There it is. And now we broke out and we are retesting the channel or the low side of it. And now we are just blasting through again here. So I don't think there's an entry right now because it's very messy, but I think if we can buy some pullbacks along the way, it could be fine. Um, did we really go through everyone already? I think we did. Anyways, this was my take on the silver portfolio from Gold Ventures on Twitter. If you have any smaller silver companies you want me to look at, please post below. I will somehow post a chart on Twitter or on YouTube. I don't know, but I will look into it definitely. But these were the ones that I found that had some setups that could be used. Um, so yeah, one quick thing here. Just you can see here again, inverted head and shoulders. So getting above the 0.34, that's the entry long term. Okay, that's what I had for today. I hope you liked it. Let me know below. As always, stay safe. Stay safe.